Hey everyone, welcome to Movie Watch. I'm your watcher Steve, and today I will be giving you my review of the latest film to reach $1 billion at the box office, Barbie. Please be warned, I will be going through some of the events of the film, so there will be some spoilers ahead. But with that out of the way, let's get started. Barbie is a 2023 film written and directed by Greta Gerwig, starring Margot Robbie as the titular character. Alongside her is Kate McKinnon as Barbie, Emma Mackey as Barbie, and Issa Rae as Barbie, with Ryan Gosling as Ken, Simu Liu as Ken, and Michael Cera as, you guessed it, Alan. Margot's version of the character is the Barbie we follow throughout the film and is known as stereotypical Barbie. The premise of the movie is that stereotypical Barbie begins to contemplate her own mortality, which creates changes to Barbie Land. Instead of living a perfect life, stereotypical Barbie finds that she wakes up tired, her shower is now cold, her waffles are burnt, and worst of all, her feet have become flat. These disasters mean that Barbie has no choice but to visit Weird Barbie, played by Kate McKinnon, who tells her she must go to the real world and find the child that plays with her in order to fix her troubles, as it is actually the negative thoughts of the person playing with Barbie that are affecting her and Barbie Land. So with this information, Barbie sets off to the real world with Ryan Gosling's Ken tagging along behind her like a little puppy dog, as his whole world revolves around her and he can't function without her. While in the real world, Barbie discovers that it is a very different land compared to her own. The women here are treated lesser and seem to put up with a lot more crap than the men. She is treated like a piece of meat by all the men she encounters, and for some reason, the males of the world seem to run the place. Barbie is distraught when she visits our world, but Ken? Well, Ken finds himself right at home and falls in love with the patriarchal system. Barbie continues her mission to track down her owner until she eventually finds the tween, Sasha, her owner. Barbie expects praise from Sasha as she believes that she has fixed all the problems in the world for women, but instead receives criticism as Barbie has done nothing for women but encourage unrealistic beauty standards. And it all just gets worse and worse for Barbie, as unbeknownst to her, Ken leaves her behind and returns to Barbie Land with his newfound knowledge of the patriarchal system. Eventually, Barbie tracks down Sasha's mother, Gloria, who is the real reason behind Barbie's existential crisis, as she is the one that's been playing with her. And after a run-in with Mattel, Barbie, Sasha, and Gloria all return to Barbie Land, where things have changed drastically. Instead of the world she knows, she finds that the Kens have taken over and all the Barbies serve their every whim. She finds them wearing skimpy outfits, serving the Kens beer while watching The Godfather and being spoken down to. They are all the Ken's subordinates. The patriarchy is in full force. Upon her return, Barbie feels hopeless. The real world is horrible, and now her world is too, all thanks to Ken. But after a pep talk, she eventually finds her feet and creates a plan to return things to the way they were. Slowly, stereotypical Barbie and the girls turn each individual Barbie back to their normal selves and subtly manipulate the Kens to fight amongst themselves so that they can regain their positions of power. While doing this though, they do realize the mistake in their previous societal system and decide to make changes to Barbie Land by treating the Kens and all outcast dolls better than what they did previously. In the end, Barbie and Ken make up and acknowledge their mistakes. Ken goes out to discover his own identity, as previously his purpose was to serve Barbie, and she does the same by bidding adieu to Barbie Land and sets out for the real world, becoming human. And that's a rough outline of the plot of the film. I had pretty high expectations going into the film. I didn't really know what to expect, but I expected it to be good. And it was. I thoroughly enjoyed Barbie. I thought the film did a great job of comparing Barbie Land to the real world, highlighting the patriarchy in our own and showing just how women are really treated, obviously with a bit of exaggeration, showing that equality still has a way to go. And although the overall theme was to do with women and the patriarchy, it still acknowledged that men also have their own problems through Ryan Gosling's Ken. The themes and the message of the film were crystal clear, and although it was evident the entire time, I didn't find the message in your face or too much to bear. I thought it was balanced well. There were a few times I thought the movie was about to go over the top, but every time I thought this, it pulled back. I think it found that perfect balance of sending a message to society and comedy. It was a funny film. Myself, my partner, and the theatre I was in all had a laugh watching along. And not just once, but a few times. I think the secret to the film is that although it has a serious message, it didn't take itself seriously. It took the piss out of Barbie, Mattel, Margot and the actors, as well as the real world. It was a genuinely good film. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea about the plot. I feel like there are other movies out there that have had a similar plot, but that doesn't bother me, to be honest. The film was different enough to be its own thing. The acting was great, Margot was brilliant, and I'm not just saying that because she's a fellow Aussie. I felt every emotion Barbie felt, and I also felt for Ken too. Margot and Ryan did a great job acting together. They've got excellent chemistry. And the supporting cast were all great too. I especially loved Michael Cera's Alan. He kicked ass, quite literally. And I'm not sure if it was done on purpose, but I recognized the actress that played Gloria as Betty from Ugly Betty, which was another production that challenged societal views and stereotypes. I thought she was a brilliant choice. The costumes were great and the makeup was brilliant. I found myself flicking between thinking about the message of the film to, wow, she looks stunning. Honestly, I don't think they could have chosen a better person to play Barbie. There were multiple instances where Margot truly looked the part. And the music was sensational too. I loved every beat played, which says a lot because I don't even like some of the artists that were used. The music of the film fit perfectly. There wasn't a scene I didn't enjoy, and I really liked how they planted little Easter eggs throughout. The only part of the movie that I thought could have been improved for me was the beach off. It just seemed a little much, verging on over the top, but it was also a lot of fun. The movie isn't for everyone. I can definitely recognize that. The comedy was right up my alley, but it won't be for others. I know there are a lot of people out there that love this film, and I know there are a lot of people out there that don't. Personally, I thought it was great. I'm not one for politics or anything like that, but I will say, just because someone didn't enjoy it doesn't mean that they are a bad person. Just remember that. Don't take other views personally. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Yes, a man could hate the film because they disagree with the message entirely, or because they're a part of the patriarchal problem. But, just as equally, they could have hated the comedy or the cast. Everyone is different, and we have to remember that. I know some women that didn't like the film. It isn't for everyone. And in the end, I think that's what makes it a great movie. Movies are meant to generate feelings and create discussion, and that's exactly what Barbie has done. I only mention it because the movie has quite literally started fights in theaters. People just need to settle down and go along for the ride. Either you like it or you don't. Go check it out and find out for yourself. But that's it from me this time, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my review of Barbie. Thanks for tuning in.